Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Marvelous. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video, and if you're returning Sabi, you know Sami, I love you so much and thank you so much for coming back for more. So today we're going to do my 10th anniversary sit down. I've been cramming it, so it's a 10-year anniversary chit chat, let's put it that way. Okay, so you can see from the head wrap that I never went to get my wigs, and we just gonna do what we have to do because we cannot go another week without a vlog. Fine. I have some few things that I wrote down, hoping that I won't overshare. At the same time, what can I say? I deliver the things that I really wanted to deliver, if it makes sense, right? So first of all, we celebrated our 10-year anniversary on the 17th of May, and I felt like it's important. You see, it's 10 years, and sometimes what can I say? Sometimes you forget where the time went because time is flying, guys. It's already 10 years. And I felt like it's a best way for me to celebrate this 10th anniversary by reflecting on the things that happened during those 10 years, if it makes sense. All right. So we're going to begin with the first question. How did you meet your husband? Okay. So growing up, I was a troubled kid. Let's put it that way. So growing up, I was a troubled kid and I got into a lot of trouble. I grew up with my grandparents, and at some point I suffered depression. And then there was a lady in our area, God bless her soul, she introduced me to her church. So the first time when I went to her church, the pastor liked me. Not in a bad way, in a good way. Like he saw me as his daughter, and he took me under his wings. And then there was also another youth pastor. He wasn't married at that time. He also took interest in me. And then he was like, you know what, probably you two can be friends, and then probably they can help me to grow spiritually. Fine. So here I am in this walk of new faith. He invites me on a random Thursday. Was it Thursday or Friday? On random Thursday. And he was like, you know what? There are boys that are coming from another suburb. They are coming to have a prayer meeting with us. So I think we should go together because it's good for you. I was like, no problem. The sister was fired up. The good sis was fired up. I was like, yeah, I'm ready for it. Let's go. Fine. So my pastor friend came to fetch me because it was a long distance, and then if we actually needed to take a taxi, but because we were so broke, we had to go on foot. Fine. We went there, and then during the service, there's this guy who keeps on staring at me, like, and I'm thinking I will probably he's just staring. You know, manje, somebody can just stare at you for no reason. Yeah, fine. After the service, my pastor friend comes and say, you know what? One of the boys from the suburb was actually wanting your number. And for me, I said no, because you're still new in this Christian thing, and now somebody's already wanting to date you. So remember, I'm not forcing you to do anything. If you don't want, you don't want. I was like, okay, fine, cool. The good brother did not say anything. Then few days later, he says hi, and I was like, hi. Then he was like, are you going to this regional convention that was going to happen in, probably was in like 2 weeks or 3 weeks to come? I was like, sure, I am, because I was in praise and worship. Went to the convention and Ugai was there. And then after the service, I was like, can we work together? I was like, oh, okay, fine. So we walked from Parktown. It was in Parktown, to my place, born and bred in Bari. So it was just close to each other. So we were like, I know, fine, let's walk. Along the way, guys, I don't want to I had a runny tummy. You know that period pain diarrhea. Yeah, fine. So now I'm too embarrassed to tell the person, I'm pressed here. And then he kept on saying, are you okay? Are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. But then at some point I was like, dude, I'm not okay. And he was like, okay, fine, what's wrong? And then I was like, I've got diarrhea. It was like, we are in an industrial area. Let me look for a toilet. Fine. The guy looks for a toilet. He approaches my industry. So, and the security guard, since it was a Sunday, the security guard was like, okay, fine, we do have a toilet, but the toilet is right outside, like at the other side of the company. So we had to walk to that side. And in that toilet, there is no toilet paper and there's no water. So if we get there, the guy needs to come back with buckets to fetch the water and buy some tissues. Fine. I went to the toilet. He leaves me there. He comes back, fetches 2 buckets of water, and he bought some tissues. And then he brought them. Fine. I was super, super embarrassed. But probably I was embarrassed later because at that time I was really, really sick. Fine. He takes me home. When I got home, Loki was like, this one is a good guy. This one is a good guy. If ever he says he wants me, I'm going to give him a chance. And it didn't take time. Okay, I was like, you know what? I think I like you. And I was like, oh, okay, give me some time to think or to pray about it. Yeah, and that was how we met. And then we dated on and off for like 4 or 5 years. And then we got married. Okay, so how has it been for the past 10 years? That's the other question that I wrote down. I've noticed that each and every marriage has its own challenges, and you don't have a formula. You just have to do what works for you, right? And we all have different ways of doing things, and the most important thing that I've noticed over the 10 years is to communicate on certain things. It helps you to actually know where the other person's mind or heart is at. Yeah, if I may say so. And then the next question, what are the challenges that you faced in those 10 years? So when I'm talking about challenges, I'm not going to talk about okay, so I really don't want to get too personal, but I just want to highlight the major ones that I felt like these were, what can I say? Those were like the major ones, if it makes sense. I would say so after we got married, we had an issue with having kids, right? So like normal couples, when you get married, we're not using any protection. So we were hoping that the first or the second year probably we would have a baby. It didn't happen the first year. It didn't happen the second year. And by the time we got to the third year, we were kind of desperate and we were all over looking for answers. Then at that point, I became a little bit stressed because now everybody's looking at you like, girl, we know that the first year probably you were still enjoying your life, the second year probably, but now what's going on? And people were starting to have a lot of questions. And at that point, I told myself, if ever I am going to survive this, I have to face this head on. So I set myself down and I told myself that children are gift from God. Mind you, it's not an easy process if you're in the same situation. So I told myself, you know what, children are a gift from God, and even if you cry and stress about it on a daily basis, it's not gonna make you have kids. You understand? So you need to look for solutions. So that's what we did with my husband. We looked for solutions. We played our part in trying to conceive, and it never happened. And it hasn't happened, right? It's been 10 years. So that is one of the biggest challenge that we faced, that we don't have kids yet. Let me put it that way. We don't have kids yet. Does it hurt me? Yes. Does it give me sleepless nights? No. Am I okay with or without? At this point, I would say I am okay with having kids. But if it doesn't happen, life goes on. I think that's where I am at. And if I would not stop chasing my goals because we don't have a child, I would not stop growing or doing things with my life because there are no kids, you see. And my hope and prayer that God is going to come through for us, and I know He will come through for us. Yeah, so that was the first challenge. The second challenge was handling finances. Like, we were all over. And to think about it right now, it makes me laugh so much, because there would have been an easier route to all of that. Yeah, so we're all over the place until one day we were like, you know what, we actually need to sit down and we talk about how we spend our money or how we handle finances in our house, right? And then, yeah, I think those two were the major ones. And then there were the smaller ones whereby, okay, yeah, the little ones they're not important, but those two, the fertility issue and the finance part, was a major blow for us, right? Then on my third question, it says, what advice would you give to somebody who wants to get married today? Or, well, let's say, what advice do I have for a girl child out there who is who is at a stage of her life that they can now start a family or get married? Well, first of all, I would tell her that getting married, as much as we all need life partners, you need to marry the right person. What do I mean by the right person? You need to marry a person that has got the same vision, same goal, same mind with you. Number one. Number two, you don't have to rush into it. In the sense that when society comes and say, oh, you are 30 or you're 20, you need to get married, you're going to, oh, the biological clock is ticking, don't. No, guys, you need to marry someone that adds value to your future. Most girls are marrying boys or men that end up abusing them. They end up being killed, or they end up dying of diseases because they were pressured into it. So I would advise somebody to wait for the right person, right? And if by any chance before you get married, it's important to look at different angles of life before you say I do. First of all, I would advise people to go through marriage counseling. Reason why is that that's where you get an idea of what you're getting yourself into. So actually going for marriage counseling gives you an idea of what you're getting yourself into, right? Number one, marriage counseling. Number two, you need to go and visit a gynae, or you need to do like a full body checkup. As funny as it might sound, you don't want to get into a relationship or into a marriage with somebody only to discover after 2 years of being married that, oh, they've got cancer, or probably they've got a heart disease, they've got infertility issues, they've got anything can go wrong. So at least if you know that you're getting into a marriage with somebody that you know their medical record, even after you get into the marriage, if those things starts coming up, it won't surprise you because you've been there. And I'm not saying this so that you can in a bad way, so that you say, okay, you're getting married to me, okay, fine, let's do a full body checkup. No, this is only for you to know what's going on. Even for your future kids, it's also important to know the medical background of their parents, right? And you also need to talk about finances. Like I said, for us, it was a very major thing. So you sitting down with your partner and talking about finances. Is it a situation whereby my money is my money, your money is our money? Or it's going to be a 50-50 situation? Or it's going to be, I don't know. But at some point, you need to sit down and talk about how finances are going to be in your life. This kind of admin, guys, you can never avoid that, because as much as you're in love, at some point you need to buy bread, and one of you needs to take out money and say, this is money for bread. And if I get into the marriage with a mindset that my husband is always going to be the provider, and he gets in with the mind that we're going to do 50-50, it's going to be a whole disaster. So it's better you guys sit down and you discuss, and you know that, you know what, we're going to do 50-50 situation, or you're going to provide, and my money is my money. And other thing you need to talk about is, this one I didn't want to say, but I don't know how to say it. In English, it might sound, but we need to talk about family boundaries. Yeah. So you would find out that probably you're going to marry somebody who doesn't have parents, but they've got siblings, and they've got this thing that wherever our brother or our sister goes, we go. Or probably you marry into a family where they have got a mother and a father who needs rent money, grocery money every month. So you also need to talk about family. How is the setup going to be? As much as this looks like an interview, those are the things that breaks or make a marriage. Yeah. And remember, guys, I'm not saying this as a professional advisor. I'm talking from experience, and I'm also taking things that I saw from other people's marriages, right? And what else? I think this is what I had for you today. You guys, thank you so much, guys, for watching. If you're still watching up until this end, I'm grateful. I see my numbers are going up, and we're still on hashtag road to 100 subscribers. I hope you like, you comment, and you share on this video. And if you've got anything to add about the things that I said in this video, please don't hesitate to comment below. Or if you feel you've got more advice for the young girl child, or if you have advice for me, still you can just comment down below and then we can interact. But until next time, guys, enjoy your night. Bye.
Seeing eyes of mine, what do you feel beside? I don't know where we're gonna fly like you did sometimes. Seeing eyes of mine.